between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Chicago Bears. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. Calling officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
On 2nd and 12, Herbert going down the middle, and it's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards the pickup there.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Herbert setting up to throw on first down. That's complete to Austin Eckler, the running back. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
On 1st and 10, Herbert, wide open receiver complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Herbert operating from the red zone. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
But how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go, and sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Herbert now. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jaquan Brisker. And the Bears are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Now it's Fields. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Well, this defense for the Chargers, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Fields to throw on 3rd and 1. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, Derwin James with a pick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD.
Well, what a response by that defensive unit, Charles, because they just saw their offense throw the interception. They come out there, not only get an interception of their own, but they take it back for the touchdown.
I won't sing it because no one wants to hear that, but perhaps in early case of anything you can do, I can do better between these defenses. A lot of people came to expect the offense to light this game up, and so far, the defenses are stealing the show.
Extra point good by Hopkins, and that makes the score 7-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
Velus Jones now from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And they come in losers at 2 straight. And remember, they've got the open date on their calendar next weekend. But you think it's vitally important, Charles, that they focus on the task at hand here?
Absolutely, because these players, they know what's coming up. And the difference between taking time off following a win versus doing so on a 3-game losing streak, that's absolutely huge because they may come back if they lose this game to a facility, and there may be new faces in there and some teammates lost.
On first and goal, they'll try the option left. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. Second and goal from inside the 5. Montgomery not going anywhere. He'll lose a couple back to the 6. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Let's face it, that's just a helpless feeling for a running back there. He's looking up to find a hole, and all he finds is a whole lot of ticked-off linebacker.
So backed up to the 6 now. 3rd and goal. To throw is Fields. Got his man, and it's caught. The Chicago touchdown. David Montgomery, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears are an extra point away from drawing level. Santos with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. The Charger drive about to get going.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they thought some play calls at work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
And his throw here is incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
Now this throw caught left side. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 31-yard.
All right.
There you go. Let's go. There you go. Way to push it.
Yards. And the Chargers first down.
Play action this time for Justin Herbert. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Back to the air, Herbert on second down. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, that play there was certainly a scouting report special because Cover was all too aware that this close to the end zone, he's going to become a bigger weapon for that offense, and they were there to help force the incompletion.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Going to throw on third down with Herbert. Into a sea of defenders have intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And the Bears are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. These two teams all tied after one. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And
Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Fields. Now he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football.
So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
Meanwhile, Herbert's throw going into the hands of Williams.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold it to just a yard.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown.
Austin Eckler, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Chargers have taken the lead.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
On the return is Jones from the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with 3rd down looming.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Fields on 3rd down.
He's got a man complete. Touchdown, Chicago.
Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find them at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And the top speed he attained there, according to Next Gen Stats, 21.3 miles per hour. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. The Charger drive about to get going. But right now, we've got a little bit of an offensive masterpiece going on both sides, moving the football, scoring points. It's almost like somebody put the deep on Herbert, his third interception. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 37. Fields. They'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
They'll run here with Raheem Mostert, and he'll make it only to the 43, a gain of 2.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
And this will be caught by Mooney.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Fields on target to Mooney. 1st down, Chicago.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. From the gun, here's Fields.
And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th. Santos' kick is up and through.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Charger drive about to get going.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember, last time out, they threw the interception. Oh, Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time.
Picked off by Nasir Adderley. So a big chunk of yardage will be marked off there for that PI call.
And now you know why receivers and the guys throwing the ball, they like to collaborate and just heave it up sometimes, because you can get these types of calls that go against the defense. Pass interference, and they gain over 30 yards of real estate on that one.
14 yards is the pickup there and a Charger 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this 1st half. On 1st down, it's Herbert. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
He's got room at the 30.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down.
Herbert on 1st down now. Throw out right, hauled in by Arcega-Whiteside. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Well, he's had the interception woes in this one, Charles, and that time a little bold to throw it into double coverage, but he beat the double coverage.
Yeah, but I admire that he still will challenge defenders downfield, even though the ball's been in jeopardy a few times in this game. A nice ball there against multiple defenders, and they advance it downfield.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? To the air again, Herbert. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. The 40, 20, 10. And they will score. Pick 6 for Bears touchdown.
Well, they matched their opponent's pick 6 from earlier. Those are some crucial points that may prove pretty consequential as to how this one plays out.
And Brandon, I think now we're not just watching how they move around the field, but we're checking their psychology out a little bit. Because that defense, they're about to go right back out with all the momentum on their side. That's for the opposing offense. You wonder if there's going to be some hesitation to lean entirely on the passing game to try and mount a counterattack.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Charger drive about to get going. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Oh, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ballgame.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is? It could be for the game the way that things are going right now. I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Oh, that's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance. Knew it wasn't 3rd down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the first down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
That is caught by Smith-Schuster. And they work this well upfield across the 45. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Set to resume. Here we go with the 2nd half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And we will not have a run back here as the 2nd half starts with a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the 2nd half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And 3rd and 1 now.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. One play action. Fields. He's got a man. It's his fullback. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Throwing again on 2nd down. And he's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 37. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the 1st. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Now Fields going to keep it running left. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. Touchdown, Chicago!
Well, that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. With a quick slant, good for 8 and a 1st.
Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Herbert. He'll get this to Eckler.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
48 yards on the ground for him so far.
Now, that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
Herbert on 3rd down now.
He dumps it to Eckler underneath. And he is going to have the Chargers 1st down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Herbert. And now here's another interception.
Picked off by Anthony Walker. And the Chargers are going to get the football here as he gets this out past the 20-yard line. So now factoring in the face mask, here's 1st and 10. Play action. It's Fields. Sliding out of the pocket. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
We're glad you're with us from Soldier Field in Chicago. 3rd quarter here, 2nd and 10. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. The former 3rd overall pick, Quinnen Williams, there to bring him down. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throw that side here, complete to the tight end, Gesicki. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And some room to work. Touchdown, Chicago. Raheem Mostert, 44 yards. And the Bears look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here this 4th quarter. The PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play. Well, things obviously not going their way. Trailing here in the 4th quarter, and that penalty going to go ahead and give the other side some extra yardage.
We all know it's an intense game and things can get heated out there. That's part of the battle. The bottom line, you got to keep your cool. That was not an example of doing that.
Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes. Emmanuel Ogbah that time, able to drop him for a loss.
You can almost see all the defenders rubbing their hands together with glee because we all know they relish the chance to bring down a quarterback of his caliber. Anyone who brings him down has plenty to talk about. Not just a sack, but a big win built off the efforts of this defense.
And pressure coming, and they got it once again. Lincoln got his 2nd sack of the night. 3rd and long. You knew that he was going to throw it, but he just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
And my goodness, another interception. Kyler Gordon picks it off, and the Bears are going to take possession of the football. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Now they'll run the option to the short side left. Fields hit and the ball is loose. And picked up by the Chargers. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. The 20, 10, 5. So the turnover forced and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies.
And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Chargers are able to capitalize on the forced fumble by turning it into 6 points. And they'll have Herbert try and throw for it. That's caught at the 2. And he will find the end zone again. So he gets the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. And that'll cut this deficit down a little bit further. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the...
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really, it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
On first down, Justin Herbert throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away this timing.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. And that is incomplete. Throwing the football is not as sharp as he was last week, but he was over 70%. Now he's under 50%.
Extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers, and the Bears will get the football back. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game, could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Out to his left. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down. Here's a toss play right to Mostert. He's got it to the 43 here.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Being chased out left. His throw incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. Going top shot for Smith-Schuster. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Bears. Juju Smith-Schuster, 43 yards. And the Bears look like they're about to put an end to their 2-game losing streak as they add on to their lead. Santos able to tack on the extra point.
And that pushes the lead up to 23. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. The Charger drive about to get going. And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10. Now a dump off here complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
On 2nd and inches, Herbert. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Again, Herbert. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. A great play there. 39 yards. And the Chargers get a bit closer. Now the Charger offense will stay on the field as they'll line up to go for the 2-point try. They'll try and throw for it. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
That one looks like he'll throw here.
And they'll get this on the screen to Mostert.
And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
A loss of a yard. It's now 1st down and 4.
Back to throw. Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney. Fields to Mooney for the Chicago first.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find